Hello everyone, I hope you're okay. My name is Adora and you're welcome to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, if you have not subscribed to this channel before, please kindly strike that red subscribe button so that from time to time you will always be notified if I have something new in stock. And if you're an old subscriber, I just want to say a big thank you for hanging there. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Thank you very much for keeping this channel alive. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm a healthcare worker. I work in the healthcare sector and I usually do the night shift. And before I ventured into this whole healthcare thing, I have never had any background in medicals or sciences or whatever. I've always been an art student right from secondary school. I've been in the arts department. University, I read something entirely different from science, so I have never really had a stint with science or medical or healthcare until I came to the UK and I decided to give it a try. And along the line, I have done a few courses, or I've done quite a lot of courses to help me progress more in the field, to help me get accustomed to what it is to work in the healthcare sector, just to make you remain there so that you're not like a novice when it comes to such a job. But I must confess, in all of my trainings, in all of my in everything I've heard about working in the healthcare sector, in all of my trainings or qualifications or whatever I've had concerning this job, I was not prepared for the emotional part of the job. I wasn't prepared for the emotional aspect. I would say I don't really think there's any training that covers that particular side of the job, like trains you on how not to be so emotionally attached to getting your feelings so emotionally worked up and all that. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think I myself was prepared for what I was going to see in the course of this job when it comes to the emotional side of it. Because I must say, this job is not for the lily-livered. It's not for people who are emotionally weak. It's not for people who are very close to tears, who are very fast to shed a tear or two. You must be very strong. And sorry, I have a cold, so I'm kind of struggling to even breathe. My nostrils are blocked. So it's not really a job where it's not a job that you have to be strong. You have to be strong to work in any healthcare sector, to work in the whole medical field as a whole. You just have to be strong. You have to kind of keep your heart there. Which reminds me, I remember so many years back, I went to a hospital and someone died. Someone died that morning, and I remember very well the way the doctors and nurses just broke the news. Yeah, they tried to comfort the family of the people of the deceased, but they just sounded like it's normal. Yeah, people die. Just take heart, just move on. To me, then I just felt, wow, these people don't have conscience. They don't have heart. How can I just break that kind of news like that to somebody and you're just moving on as if nothing happened? Like, it's actually someone that died. Someone just lost his or her life. Someone died. But I didn't understand that sometimes you have to do away with your emotions. You have to be professional. That was the part of the job I did not understand. I didn't know. So I got into this job like that, and sometimes some of the things I see. So I got into this job, and sometimes some of the things I experience, some of the things I see, it kind of weakens me. It kind of breaks me. Okay, I've seen a lot, but the one that happened to me recently, it really touched my heart because it's one thing to hear that someone dies, and it's another thing to know that the person that died is very close to you. A lot of us, when we hear people die, we just kind of brush it off, like, okay, rest in peace, and we move on. But when it happens to you, you know exactly how hurtful, how painful that thing is. Okay, what happened? I had gone to work that very night. night shift as usual, but that's what I do. I went to work, and there's this particular man. I like this man so much because whenever he sees me, he's always like, "Hey, my daughter, how are you?" You know, he's from Jamaica, so he's always like, "My daughter, how are you? What's happening today?" So sometimes when I go, I just make sure I pop into his room, and I'm like, "Hi, Mister, what a guan?" You know, we just try to crack jokes. Sometimes he sees me, "Hey, daughter, what a guan?" Like, you know, sometimes even when I don't understand what he's saying, I'll be like, "Hey, what a guan?" And we just crack jokes. And even on days I don't work in that particular ward, I try as much as possible to just pop in, say hello, and then move on. So I like the man very well, an elderly man. And on this particular night, I'd worked with him. He was nice. He was okay. That night, I made sure that, you know, I checked him from time to time because I noticed he wasn't sleeping. He sat on his bed all night till the next morning. Like, he literally sat on the bed. You know, like when somebody will sit down all night from that night till the next morning. This man sat. So I would just go in from time to time to ask him, "Mister, won't you lie down and, you know, have some rest? You should be tired." He'll be like, I'm fine. Then another night I had another shift. So this time around, I saw his family was around this time. They came to see him, and I noticed that the atmosphere was a bit dark. It was not as lively as it used to be, and this gentleman himself was not as happy and strong as he used to be. But I just thought it's one of those things. He's going to get better. Sometimes you fall ill, you get very ill to the point that people will think, "Oh, the person is almost dying," and the next thing you just recover. So I just thought it's one of those things. He's going to bounce back. And the next night again, I had another night shift. So I went to work, and on getting to work, I was told that this young man died in the afternoon. Like, it surprised me. Initially, I didn't want to believe it because it's not as if I didn't know anyone could die just like that, but I had this picture of him in my mind that he's going to get well, he was going to get better soon, just a matter of time. Maybe he just needed treatment and all that. I didn't know it had gotten to the point where he was going to die so soon. Yes, I know quite all right that this man was in pains. I knew he was in pains. He had a very, very, big sore on his leg that at that age, he was enduring the pain. Even as a young person, there's some kind of sickness, there's a kind of pains you will go through. It will be like hell. It will be like torture. And for this man, very old, to be passing through that pain. Sometimes when I'm on shift, I hear the way he screams. Sometimes he will scream like, like when somebody is trying to endure the pain from inside, But this man died in the afternoon. And I was coming to work that day. I had it in mind that once I get in there, I will just knock on the door, pop my head in, and as usual, greet him. And so when I heard this from the reception, he was weak. The first thing I did was to sit down. I just sat down and I was like, wow, so is this how life is? Like, is it just like that? Like, someone you see today, you may not see the person tomorrow and all that kind of thing. So it kind of shook me, because the reason why I felt so touched or affected is because I attached my emotions to it, which is not a professional thing to do. It was very unprofessional for me to feel that way. But the human aspect of me couldn't hold it, because I'm a human being, and this is the life of someone I'm talking about. It's a human being that died, not an animal. It's not a goat. It's not a chicken. So, although I try to beat myself that no, what you did was a bit unprofessional. You shouldn't cry. You shouldn't, you have to be strong, because if you're crying and showing affections like this, what do you expect the family to do? But on the other hand, I said to myself, that's why I'm human. Once in a while we break down. So it just taught me something that I wasn't prepared for this part of the job, because from time to time you see these things happen. People just pass away, especially when they get to that old age, that they are almost there, when they get to the end of their life expectancy and all that. It's at that point you try and harden your heart, because anything can happen. So it's now left for you as a professional in that field to hold yourself. So that actually broke me. That actually touched me. It just made me to understand that this is a part of me I think I need to work on, because I can't go crying for everyone that dies or for everyone that passes on. But on the other hand, like I said, it's the human aspect of me that showed his face. So because recently I went to work again, and yeah, someone had passed on, and although I wasn't too close, I have not really worked with this person, or like, you know, in a close contact. I've not really worked with this person so much. I wouldn't say I don't really have like a connection so much with the person or whatever, but I've seen this man severally. I've seen him. I've gone to his word severally. I know this person used to exist there, and all of a sudden I turned up at work. The same week this Jamaican man died is the same week this other guy died. I turned up at work that day, and I just heard that, oh, this other man died. He choked to death. And I'm like, God, this death thing is well, it's well, because sometimes I sit myself down and I begin to tell myself, what lessons are you learning from what you are experiencing, from what you're seeing? It goes to show that whatever you're doing in life, be good. Just be good, so that you'll be remembered for the good things you do. Because I remember when this man died, the Jamaican man died, every single person, every single staff that walked into that hall, that building, that very day, everyone had something good to say. Everyone was shocked. Everyone was quiet. Like, that was one of the moodiest shifts I've ever had. Everywhere was just dull. Nobody was smiling. Everywhere was just quiet, because they said, wow, someone just died. Someone actually just died. Like, he's a good man, he's a lovely guy, he's this, he's that. They all had beautiful things to say. So this life, whatever you're doing, try as much as possible to be good. That's the only tag that should follow you when you have gone, so that people that you've left behind will have something positive to say to you, or to say about you. You know, so that's one aspect of myself that I need to work on. I need to work on my emotions. I need to work on my emotions. I need to really put it in check, because I'm a very emotional person. So sometimes I ask myself, am I sure I'm in the right job? I usually ask myself that, am I sure I'm in the right job? Am I sure I'm in the right thing? Because it's a bit tricky, because honestly, I'm not going to see something that will shake me, you know, emotionally, and I will just harden my face and act like I didn't see it. I'm not. But on the other hand, it's something I need to work on anyway. So sorry, I would have told you in the beginning of this video that I'm just coming from night shift, so that's why I'm dressed like this, my hair and everything, and I'm just doing the school runs. I've come to drop the kids, so I'm going back home right now to have a sleep, and if possible, try to put this bad incident behind me and just to move on. Thank you very much for watching, and like I said, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. What are you waiting for? Please now, I beg, press that red subscribe button now. Biko don't. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye.